I'm sure the whole world now knows that today Theresa May, the Prime Minister, said that Article 50 is going to be invoked on Wednesday, the 29th of March. It's a very interesting event. I understand it's the birthday of Sir John Major, who is one of our staunch Remainers and was very, very pro-Maastricht. So that's a bit of a cheeky little in-joke against John Major. And of course today it's the 100th birthday of one of our great veteran World War II singers, Dame Vera Lynn. So very, very clever placing of the date. And of course it's the same week as the 60th anniversary of the EU, basically the Treaty of Rome, and there's going to be big celebrations in Rome. So very, very clever handling of the date, I would say. It's almost like an ironic in-joke, the choosing of the date for this. Well, I think that again that she's been, Theresa May that is, has been very cunning. You know, Britain is a bit like an old fox in world political terms. We've been around a very, very, very long time. We've been involved in virtually every nation on earth. So I think she's playing it very, very cool. I'm sure she's got a very detailed trade plan, but she's not telling us. And she's certainly not letting the EU know because she doesn't want anyone to see her hand of cards, which I think is right and proper. We want the very best possible agreement we can have for this country to ensure maximum wealth for this country and maximum happiness for our citizens. And if that means that she takes a discreet approach, all well and good. Yes, we don't know. The public, we don't know exactly what she has in store, but I'm sure she's got a very clearly defined agenda for her negotiations. Of course, I'm sure, as we're all aware, we've only just recently had one referendum in Scotland, but this is a democracy, and of course the Scottish people are free to have a debate to consider the necessity and appropriateness of holding a second referendum. Of course, they must do that. That is their choice if they so wish to do so. Whether or not Ms Sturgeon will get sufficient support behind her, we don't know. My view is that she won't. So I think that this may be a bit of a waste of time and energy, but it's always good to debate. So it's a very good opportunity to debate these issues and focus on the future of Scotland, whether it's going to be with the UK or whether it hopes to join the EU. I think its chances of securing a good membership deal with the EU are somewhat slimmer than perhaps Miss Sturgeon hopes. And I think it's very interesting, actually, when you compare sort of different regions of the United Kingdom. We haven't heard a peep from Wales. We haven't heard a peep really from Northern Ireland. I appreciate Northern Ireland has its own very special problems, but we haven't heard a peep from Wales. We haven't heard any of the AM members complaining that they weren't given advance warning with regard to the Brexit date. So I think that Nicola Sturgeon has her own driving internal personal issues with Scottish independence that may not be reflected in the general populace of Scotland. But I don't know if more and more devolution is the answer. I'm of the view that devolution may be a thing of the past and is a hangover from our EU membership, which we'll be relinquishing very soon. I think it came about in one of the, I can't remember which treaty it was, but I think it was already, the seeds were laid for devolution and regionalisation with the European Communities Act, whereby it was a breaking down of national states. Now, we've moved on from that. We've rejected that. We want to be an integral national state, and I question whether more devolution is the future. It may actually be less. All I would wish to say is I wish our government and our civil servants the very, very best of luck, and I hope that they will conduct themselves with courage and integrity and put Britain's interests first.